what would you say to the parent who says, hey, when my kid had a bag of Skittles, I could tell a difference? What do you say to them?
A few different things. So very similar. And if you could just allow me one moment, I'm going to give you there's a similar parallel. If you're familiar with the Feingold diet, this was a popular diet back in the 1970s. It was an elimination diet that was proposed actually by a physician, Dr. Feingold. And he was saying that if we eliminate sugar and certain food additives from our kids' food, we can, get rid of hyperactivity, ADHD, all of these things. And so it caught on like wildfire, and people were like, oh my goodness, like this thing works, except these were purely anecdotes. And when we actually designed studies, we realized there was something called the parent expectation effect. So when our kids eating things like sugar or brightly colored treats, they're often with their friends or at parties or social gatherings, right? And so they're in an excitable environment, and it's actually the environment that's influencing their behaviors. And when parents expect their kids to exhibit those behaviors, they tend to report that their kids did exhibit those behaviors. So that's one thing. The next thing I'd say is that there are some studies, now the evidence is not strong for this, but there are some studies that do show a potential link between food colorings and hyperactivity. But when you actually dig into the research and you look and you focus on the higher quality evidence, we see that effect among children who are predisposed to those behaviors. So children who are hyperactive, who have those diagnoses. We don't know exactly what the mechanism is, but it seems like they might be more sensitive to the effects of those food colorings. So for certain groups that, again, are predisposed to hyperactivity, it might be true that their behaviors are exacerbated by food dyes. But these sweeping generalizations are not based in evidence.